We often talk about survival in terms of the wilderness, forests, mountains, and remote cabins. But for over half of the world's population, home isn't a farmhouse with a well. It's a box made of concrete and glass, stacked on top of a dozen other boxes. When a major disaster hits, be it an earthquake, a massive power grid failure, or civil unrest, the modern apartment building transforms from a luxury convenience into a high-rise trap. You have no backyard to grow food, no easy way to get water if the pumps stop, and your neighbors are just inches away behind thin walls. In an urban crisis, the rules of survival change completely. Today, we are going to master the art of apartment survival. We'll cover how to turn your small space into a fortress, how to manage your life support systems when the grid goes down, and exactly when you should grab your bag and run. Let's get started. In a house, you might have a garden hose or a rain barrel. In an apartment, when the water stops, it stops. Most modern apartment buildings rely on electric pumps to push water to the upper floors. No power means no water. The moment a disaster is imminent, your first move is the tub. If you have a bathtub, scrub it clean and fill it to the brim. This isn't just for drinking, it's for hygiene. But a bathtub is an open container. It can evaporate or get contaminated. For long-term storage, you need a heavy-duty plastic liner that fits in your tub and holds up to 100 gallons of sterile water. If the water is already stopped, don't forget your hidden reserves, the water heater and the back tank of the toilet, the clean water inside, not the bowl. But what about when that runs out? You need a filtration plan. Gravity filters are essential. You might be tempted to collect rainwater from your balcony, but in a city, that water is often full of pollutants from the roof. Filter everything. And remember, water is heavy. 1 gallon weighs about 8.3 pounds. If you live on the 20th floor and the elevators are dead, you are not carrying water up those stairs. Store it now, or you will regret it later. When the lights go out in a city, it doesn't just get dark, it gets eerie. In an apartment, you cannot run a gas generator. The carbon monoxide will kill you and your neighbors within minutes. Your only options are portable power stations. During the day, you can hang foldable solar panels off your balcony or tape them to your sunniest window. This won't run your fridge for long, but it will keep your phone, your flashlight, and your emergency radio alive. Communication is your greatest tool against panic. For lighting, avoid candles at all costs. In a disaster, the fire department is not coming. A single knocked-over candle in an apartment building can lead to a mass casualty event. Stick to LED lanterns and headlamps. Finally, think about your food. Your freezer is a ticking clock. Keep it closed. A full freezer will keep food frozen for about 48 hours. If the power stays out longer, you need to start cooking your perishables first, before touching your canned goods. Portable butane stoves are safe for apartment use, as long as you have a window cracked for ventilation. Now we have to talk about the sanitation nightmare. This is what kills people in urban disasters. Dysentery and cholera are the real enemies. If the city water is off, the sewers might still work for a few hours, but eventually they will clog or back up. Do not flush the toilet. If the pipes are broken downstairs, every time you flush, you are risking a backup into your own bathroom. Instead, use the 2-bucket system. Bucket 1 is for liquids, bucket 2 is for solids. Line your toilet with a heavy-duty trash bag. Cover every use with kitty litter or sawdust to kill the smell and dry things out. Tie the bags tight and store them in a secure container on your balcony. It sounds disgusting, but maintaining a sterile environment is the only way to survive a long-term grid-down scenario in a crowded building. In an apartment, your security depends on your neighbors. In the first 48 hours, people are generally helpful. After 72 hours without food or water, the mood changes. The first step to apartment security is reinforcing your door. Most apartment doors are flimsy. Install a door jammer or a heavy-duty strike plate. Use long 3-inch screws to secure the hinges into the actual wall frame. But the most important security tactic is the gray man strategy. You do not want your neighbors to know you have supplies. If you are the only one in the hall with the smell of cooking food or the sound of a radio, you become a target. Cover your windows with blackout curtains or even aluminum foil to prevent light leak at night. Keep your success a secret. Be the person who looks just as tired and hungry as everyone else. Apartments are notorious for being poorly insulated once the HVAC stops. In the summer, a high-rise becomes a greenhouse. In the winter, it's an icebox. If it's freezing, do not try to heat the whole apartment. Pick one room and shrink your living space. Hang blankets over the doors and windows. Set up a camping tent inside that room. Your body heat will keep the inside of a tent much warmer than the rest of the room. If it's boiling hot, use the cross breeze method. Open windows on opposite sides of the apartment. Hang wet sheets over the open windows. As the air passes through the damp cloth, the water evaporates and cools the air entering your home. Finally, you have to decide stay or go. This is the most critical decision you will make. Stay in your apartment if the building is structurally safe, you have enough food and water, and the situation outside is more dangerous. Leave your apartment if there's a fire in the building, structural failure, or a long-term water failure you can't manage. If you have to leave, do not take the elevator. A sudden power flicker can trap you in a metal box. Always take the stairs. Your bug-out bag should be light enough that you can carry it 20 flights of stairs without collapsing. Surviving in an apartment isn't just about gear, it's about people and planning. The urban environment is fragile. When the system breaks, the clock starts ticking. By preparing your water storage, securing your door, and mastering the gray man mindset, you stop being a victim of the city and start being its master. Disasters are terrifying, but they are also predictable. If you have the plan, you have the power. Stay prepared, stay hidden, and most importantly, stay safe.